The world watched in silence as news broke that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, had died. Millions of people flooded the streets across Iran, dressed in black, crying openly and carrying his portraits. Television channels around the world broadcast the emotional scenes live. Watching from the White House, acting President Donald Trump frowned in surprise. He turned to his advisors and said, "I thought people hated him. Why are so many mourning him?" The room fell silent as everyone tried to understand what they were seeing. An intelligence advisor calmly explained that public opinion is often more complicated than it appears. Some Iranians strongly opposed Khamenei, while others deeply admired him for his leadership, religious influence, or resistance to foreign pressure. The massive crowds did not necessarily mean every Iranian agreed with him. Instead, they reflected a nation with different beliefs, emotions, and experiences. Television reporters interviewed mourners. One elderly man said, "He stood for our country's independence." A young woman wiped away tears and said, "He wasn't perfect, but he was our leader." Another citizen quietly admitted, "I disagreed with many of his decisions, but today I mourn because this is a historic moment for my country." Trump listened carefully, realizing that no nation speaks with one voice. The acting president leaned back in his chair. "Maybe I judged the entire country by only the loudest voices I heard," he admitted. His advisors nodded. They reminded him that social media, news reports, and political debates often highlight conflict while overlooking the millions of ordinary people whose opinions are rarely heard. Trump addressed his team. "Whether we agree with another country's leaders or not, we should try to understand the people behind the headlines." The room agreed that diplomacy begins with understanding, not assumptions. Every nation has supporters, critics, and people whose views fall somewhere in between. As the funeral procession continued through Iran, the acting president watched quietly. "I've learned something today," he said. "History is never as simple as it looks from a distance." The camera faded from the crowded streets to the White House, ending with a simple message. Never judge an entire people by a single narrative. Understanding begins when we listen.